Good morning. No, why are you guys acting like breakfast was a rumor? Good morning. Yes, how are you doing? Yeah, you guys are the majority today, and I'm happy to be here. My name's Daniel Omara. Most people know me as a comedian. I prefer to be called a humor specialist. It's a far bigger title by comparison to what the rest of you have here. Yeah. So I'm here to discuss the issue of people saying minorities cost too much. Let's first start by defining minorities. I know it varies from place to place. In some places, minorities, races, certain races may not be as many as the others, and then we have people with disabilities. There's a bunch of people who fall in that category. The elderly, there's a whole lot of them, and the question is, do they cost too much? I don't think they do. I think they're important. I actually think they're invaluable. Because, for example, let's look at the senile people, whom people say are a burden, for example. I completely disagree. If you look at the amount of knowledge they have in comparison to what I know at my age, I just recently turned 31, so I'm about ready to be president, but I'm always taking advice from my dad, who's in his 70s. Now, we cannot say he costs too much when the advice he gives me is what has built my career in comedy. My dad has some of the best advice, some of the best. He told me my first joke. One day he actually told me, a man and his son are walking down the road, and his son turns to the father and asks, Daddy, how do you tell if someone is drunk? And the father looks at the son and tells him, you see those two people ahead of us? If I was drunk, I'd be seeing 4 of them. And when the son looked ahead, he saw only 1 person. Yeah, that came from my dad. Like, the older generation has so much to offer, we cannot ignore them. People with disabilities have abilities that we who feel are fully able cannot be able to carry out. Because there's a lot of stuff people can do that makes them amazing. So when you say someone costs too much, what is your value system exactly? How are you rating them? Are you billing per hour? How does this work exactly? I think it all comes down to basic humanity. If we're going to talk about what minorities cost, let's start by looking at them as people, not people with disabilities, not people who are old, not people who are from another country, not people of another race. Let us just be one. Because I can tell you, the moment you start putting distinctions between people, that's how you start adding up costs. It's like those relatives that come from the village and want to stay in Kampala without understanding the implication of what it means to live in Kampala. So someone sees food on the table and is like, this is nice. They think it's given out. I actually had an uncle who came to Kampala once, and on the day he was leaving, he told us, so today I'm going to have to serve extra food because I'm going back to the village. Like, there's no food in the village. There's actually more food in the village than there is here. So basic humanity, let's look at each other at the same level at all points. We're all different colors, right? Where are you from? Oh, pardon? France. Do you like the jacket? I know you guys are sharp dressers. Like the whole time I came up here wearing this jacket, I'm sure I'm certain there's a French guy in the audience going, but that is the wrong jacket for this occasion. I know, but you noticed. And that's what we need to do. We need to notice and recognize people for what they are, what they contribute. I don't think anyone is entirely nothing in the world as we say it. Is there anyone who has contributed nothing completely in the entirety? Name one person. Do you know him? Don't say Trump. Anyone? No? Another one? Like, there's a lot we're capable of. Minorities bring in a lot. In the US, there's talk about what the minorities contribute. Apparently, the Mexicans do most of the hard work, a lot of it. Deporting them would actually crush the economy. It would completely sabotage the way things have been operating. In Uganda here, I think, are refugees considered minorities?
Yeah.
They are?
They are less than the other people, so
Yeah,
possibly a minority.
yeah, interesting. We have a Sudanese comedian who has contributed a lot to the comedy industry, and he is amazing. His name is not Deng, just so you know. I know that's what a lot of you are thinking. And this guy is incredible. He comes from a country where history lessons practically take 1 hour. I mean, the nation is like 7 years old, so. When did we gain independence? Yeah, the other week. You know how it is. It's the case. But he has made an amazing contribution to the comedy industry. He has made such massive strides that if we had ignored him and said, this guy is going to cost too much, we wouldn't have made it here. Aisha is with us today. She has made amazing strides in the economy. Entrepreneur, she has done amazing things. And we are capable of doing way more incredible things. So all I can say is, let's put aside what they cost and think about what they can contribute. Because if we look at them as a cost, as opposed to assets, we all lose in the end. Thank you very much.